This podcast is brought to you by Convo Cloth, the official clothing apparel of the NBC podcast. For the latest apparel, please go to www.nothingbutconvos.com. Now, let's get into the latest episode of the NBC podcast with your boy, S. McCann. What's good, people? It's the NBC podcast with your boy, S. McCann. And this is episode 39, Eagles Week 1 review. Week 1 is in the books. We seen our team fight, claw, get that dub. The defense needs some work. But one thing we do know, A.J. Brown is one of those boys. One of those top 5, top 10 receivers that will win against number 1, number 2, and number 3 corners if you play man. And so now you gotta watch out for AJ, which that will open it up for everybody on this offense. But also, we got the ultimate weapon in Jalen Hurts. What they gonna do with him? I don't know. So in this episode, I break down what the offense looked like, what the defense looked like, standout players, and week 2 against those Vikings. So sit back, relax, let's get it. Week 1, Eagles review the first week of the NFL season against the Lions. We got that dub, 38-35. It was a rough one in terms of looking at that defense, but the offense looked promising. They blitzed Hurts a lot, the second most last week in week 1, and I think he handled it pretty well and bailed out that offensive line almost the whole game. So let's get into it. The defense first. This defense got gashed, cooked, smoked by the run. That's it. That's all that team was doing. They passed the ball a few times. They got a couple touchdowns, but it was set up from the run. They ran every down except one time when they scored the ball. Every time they was running. And so I'm thinking to myself, if you drafted a nose tackle, defensive tackle in the first round, why? Why is he not playing? I don't get it. He should be out there. He's young. Hargrave didn't play or didn't even practice the whole preseason. He had a lingering injury. Cox, he's getting up there in age. You got a young buck, young stallion, and you ain't even play him? I think it was like 22% of the game or something. It was crazy. Man, the number is crazy on how many snaps he got. And also, when he was in the game, they said that the running backs accumulated 2.9 yards per rush. When he was out of the game, this is Jordan Davis. When he was out of the game, they gained 10 yards a carry. The missed tackles was horrendous watching that. No pressure on the quarterback. You have your linebackers weren't getting off their blocks. Not the whole game. Some of the game they were or whatever, but not the whole game. And so when you have an offense like that, where you should have shut them down, you had points in the game that if they wouldn't have scored again, the game would have been over. And you didn't put your foot on the gas. So you look at the defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon. From last year, some of the games, our offense did well. The defense might have lost us some games or let the game come back and then we have to get the lead back and all of that. But Jonathan Gannon is on the clock, I think. Your offense cannot generate 31 points and your defense gives up 35 points. Granted, the defense got a pick six. You can say that won the game for us, right? That pick six, maybe. But the defense, it has to get it together for us to do anything in this division and in the NFC going into the playoffs. The offense. This is where we wanted to see Hurts develop. What will he look like? He was in the off season working out with Tom Brady, Tom House, and all of these gurus. We wanted to see how his throwing motion would look. How would he fare under pressure? How would he fare in the pocket? At times, we didn't get that. How would he fare in the pocket? Because the offensive line was terrible at times where he bailed them out. And yes, when you have a mobile quarterback, he can do that for you. Legs. Making things happen. But when he did have time to throw, passes were on point. He might want to get a couple passes back that he underthrew, overthrew. But for the most part, what I've seen from him, I've seen the progression. This is year 3. This is a big year for him. Because if he does good or plays well, he will get a big payday. It's only right. And also, our team will only go as far as Jalen Hurts takes us. And I like what I seen. Jalen Hurts stats: 8 for 32, 243 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. The big key is no interceptions. Did not turn the ball over. Did not fumble. That's what I need out of my quarterback. If you're not going to give us touchdowns, protect that ball. But he did give you a touchdown running the football. 17 carries, 90 yards, 5.3 yards a carry, 1 touchdown. Making it look easy. You can't blitz him. The play breakdown, ain't nobody open. He's getting that. So you back 15. No one's open. It's getting 15 yards. That kills a defense. That defense was so frustrated with Jalen Hurts. They was targeting him. And they finally called it when they called it. Because it was a lot of times they was hitting him while he slid and then they hit him after he slid. It is what it is. But the real people know when they watch that game. They're like, yo, y'all going to protect him or not? A.J. Brown. Swole Batman. A man among boys. A killer. One of them boys. That's what I call him. He's one of those boys. Top 5, top 10, whatever you want to put him in. He's either top 5 or top 10. You can't man him up. He's beating man coverage all day. He had 5 catches, 105 yards. 3 of those catches were plus 15. All of those categories, he was the number 1 in the league last week against man coverage. What will teams do? Will they double him, or will they keep playing man-to-man? Will they start playing zone, single high? What's going to happen? Because he's a veteran receiver. I said it in my last pod. This is something that we really needed. A vet that can win. A vet that can catch. A vet out there that now is fear in cornerbacks. It's fear in defensive coordinators. He brings fear. And then you got Jalen Hurts running around. And then if you lose Goddard, he's out there. Then if you lose Devontae Smith, he's out there. The back coming out the backfield. What you going to do? When they start clicking on all cylinders, what will you do? How can you hold this team? Like I said, it's going to be on the quarterback's shoulders to get everybody involved. But if you have a wide receiver winning every time against man coverage or winning every time in the passing game, you're not going to throw to him? That's going to speed up Jalen Hurts' progression. To have a number 1 receiver like that, that's speeding up his progression. So if he throws a bad throw behind him, a throw that's too high, he's making up for those mistakes. We never had a receiver like that. And yeah, a couple passes, Jalen Hurts could have hit him in stride and he would have been gone. But it's the first game, real game. We're not talking about practice. This is the first game that they filling each other out. And yes, Devontae Smith will get his. But let's go back to AJ's stats. 10 receptions. He got targeted 13 times. 10 receptions. $155. 15.5 yards a reception. Cooking everyone that was on him. No one can stop him. Dallas Goedert. 3 receptions. 60 yards. 20 yards of reception. Cooking. Kenneth Gainwell. 2 receptions. 12 yards. 6 yards of reception. We needed that. He out the backfield. Miles Sanders caught a little. 2 receptions. 9 yards. 4.5 yards of reception. Pascal got that much needed first down for us. But Devontae Smith, 0 receptions, 0 yards. I'm telling you guys, that probably won't happen again. But the game plan, I watched the game. He was clearing a lot of stuff out. He was clearing a lot of things out. You can't have a receiver in A.J. Brown winning every time and not throw to him. That's stupid. That's so dumb. Let's go to the running game. Miles Sanders. It seems like he got the hint. Money is on the line. You have to fall forward. You have to be strong with the ball. No fumbles. Don't run out of balance when you're trying to run that clock out. Stop dancing. Hit that hole. You're strong. Hit that hole. And that's what he did. He's taking coaching. 13 carries. 96 yards. 7.4 yards a carry. 1 touchdown. All the backs scored a touchdown. But we're talking about Miles. If he stays healthy, he might be the difference. Because you got to worry about the run game. You got to worry about Jalen Hurts running the ball. Now you got receivers out there that can catch, and a receiver out there that can win against man coverage, and a tight end that can just be out there dominating. Now you have that. Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders are the keys to our season. Because if you can't stop them, they're unlocking everything. A.J. Brown, he's unlocking everything. The offensive line will have to play better. They will have to play better. And they will play better. I want to go back to the defense because CGJ, his first game, 10 days with the team out there, played every snap. I think he did play every snap. He looked good to me. Epps, he got beat one time, but other than that, he looked good to me. He was flying around. Quazir White looked really good to me. Bradbury caught that pick six, took it to the house. He looked very good to me. Hassan Reddick, the coaching staff will have to let him just blitz and rush the passer. You got him dropping back in coverage? No. He can do it, but no. Josh Sweat, you had him dropping back in coverage? No. Rush. We need pressure on the quarterback. Have them rush the quarterback. So this week against the Vikings, this will be a tough task for the defense because they didn't show up last week. And if they have a performance like they did last week, it's going to be tough for that defense. They might put up 50 on them. But I'm pretty sure they will correct some things. It's Monday night, home game. I'm hoping that they come to play. The offense, they play a similar defense to us. Zone, concept, some man, safeties in the back. Safeties can cover. I just want to see how they play A.J. Brown. Because if they just zone it up, I'm pretty sure that these receivers will find that zone, that soft coverage. If they playing off coverage, whatever, I think we will win that. One thing that they do have to do, that every team will have to do against the Eagles, is stop the run. Can they do that? And if they do that, can Jalen Hurts beat them with his arm? He has the weapons to beat him. And I think prime time, he's on a mission. It could be a close game, win or lose. I think that this team will come to play, and it's going to be the best man wins. I'm not too sure about how they stick Justin Jefferson, Thielen. They got a good tight end in Smith. I don't know. But what I do know is I'm rolling with my Eagles in week 2. I'm going to roll with them every game. So 17-0, I think my team going to go. Because I can't just give up, oh, they're going to lose against the nope. They're going to win. That's what I'm putting in the air because that's what I always do. It's going to be tough, and they could lose, but I'm not going to give no other team no benefit of the doubt because they still got Kirk Cousins. And sometimes Kirk Cousins don't come through when he get pressure. So put that pressure on Kirk Cousins. Don't let him have a clean pocket. Let's go. And I believe that we will fly on Monday night. My boys will come to play. A.J. Brown will come to play. And I think the offense will be more balanced between the weapons. It's not going to be one-sided. It's going to be a lot more balanced. But I would say this. That first game, the plan was to showcase A.J. Brown and let the league know they have a problem. And now, once they start playing us different, you can play us like that again, but he's just going to win on you. But once they start playing us different, it's going to open up everything else for the whole team. So with that, people, it's a wrap. So that was episode 39, Eagles Week 1 review. We had some plays out there that we want back. I know the defense would like to play better, but that's what you got to do as a defense. Progress to the next week. We got a dub on the legs of Jalen Hurts, on the arms of Jalen Hurts, but that can't happen every week. Always open, A.J. Brown, swole Batman. He showed y'all why he's a number one receiver, but he can't be the whole offense. So we have to move that ball around, get Goddard involved, get Devontae Smith involved, get the backs involved, and then you're going to have an offense that no one can stop. So with that, people, next week, week 2, those Vikings, Monday Night Football, be excited. I hope my boys come to play, and I know they will be coming to play. So with that, people, stay safe, give respect, and show love. 1. Make sure you go listen to all old and new NBC podcast episodes on all podcasting platforms. And please go to www.nothingbutconvos.com for the latest apparel.